Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chill with Phil. This is an impromptu Q&A hangout session here on my channel. I just finished Mafia: The Old Country, and we have a lot of extra time on this stream. So we're just going to hang out and see what people want to talk about. So if you would like to chat, please tag me in the chat, either chat. Here, I'll type into the kick chat so you guys can tag me. And let's see what's on your guys' mind today. Narwhal Gaming, I'm not caring about refunds right now. DSP tries it will happen tomorrow if we hit 3 more goals, period. I don't care if there's a refund or whatever. We'll still do it tomorrow. All right? But we need to hit 3 goals. Because he's asking me about money and goals now. First question of the stream. I don't know why this is some big thing. We're going to do it tomorrow if we hit 3 goals, period. No, I've never been to a sauna. No, I'm not playing Mario Kart World again. Unless there's a DLC down the line, I'm not going back to it now. There's nothing to do in it. No, I did not ever learn Italian knife fighting like in the game. No, I don't want to play Street Fighter 6 against Punk the God or El Chicote. I don't want to play Street Fighter 6 at all. The Wizard, what's in the past is in the past. All of us have moved on from the past. We don't talk about to each other, so there's no point in ever bringing it up again. Please stop trying to rehash the past and or beat the dead horse. It's dead. No, I've not tried installing a currency conversion extension for my browser. I wouldn't even know how that would work. I don't think it would work. It's easy to do what I do when I count stuff on the stream. It's not a big deal. I'll be doing CVS 2 tomorrow night. Satan, he says, why don't you play it now? Because I don't have an hour to even play. It wouldn't be enough time. It wouldn't be significant enough time to play it. So, no, I would not go to the Mafia for help with anything. What would the process of visiting Italy for real be like? I don't know. I've never been. Don't know anything about it. Will I be playing OG Resident Evil 2 and 3 that just released on PlayStation? No plans to do that right now. Maybe somewhere down the line. It is good that they're accessible now on modern consoles, because I did play Resident Evil 2 and 3, the originals, PS1 versions, emulated on PS3 a long time ago. But I no longer have a working PS3, so I don't have access to that. So it's good to know that it's now on modern consoles. Am I going to play Little Nightmares 3? No, I didn't play Little Nightmares 2, and you guys didn't like Little Nightmares 1. No, I'm not bringing back the suggestion box. Yes, I think Nintendo's making a new Zelda game. I don't know if I'd ever go back to Grounded. I did play Grounded during a Game Pass night a very long time ago, and people didn't really like it. They thought it was boring, so I never went back to it. Max Payne says Hangar 13 is going to add a free ride mode to the Old Country that will add more activities to it. Interesting. Maybe people will feel like there's more bang for your buck then. I thought it was fine without it. Did Mafia: The Old Country manage to satisfy those who liked the first 2 games? I don't know. It satisfied me. I liked it, but I don't know. But I can't speak for everybody else. I mean, that's a ridiculous question. I can't answer that. I don't know anything about a streamer passing away, so you're asking the wrong person. I don't know anything about that or the circumstances around it. Do I have the same PSN account on my PS4, PS5? Yes, I do. Davey says then I should be able to just get Resident Evil 2 and 3 right now on my PS5 and I could play them. That's cool to know. Maybe I would like to do a replay of those later on. I think that would be cool. Will I be giving a short, direct answer to every question? Depends on the questions. That's subjective, not objective. It's, depends on the question, what I have to answer. How did I handle the pressure of the engagement with my wife? If you think that you feel pressure because you get engaged to someone, there's probably a bad reason behind it. I didn't have any pressure when I was engaged to Kat. Everything was cool. We were very happy. No, I've never listened to Opie and Anthony at all. No, I've never made homemade rice, only the microwave kind. I've never actually made my own rice in a rice cooker or anything like that. I will be playing Hollow Knight Silk Song later this year, since people seem to want me to, but I doubt that I'm going to go back and play the original. I did play the original during a marathon many years ago, but there wasn't a lot of demand to ever see me go back to it, so I never did. No, I'm not going to check out any gameplay trailers right now. This is a Hangout Q&A session. I reacted to the Resident Evil 9 stuff that came out yesterday. I don't know if there's anything new from today, but I reacted to it yesterday live on the podcast. You can check that out right now. Yeah, Tormented Souls. So what is the date for Tormented Souls 2, guys? Because someone told me about it when I was playing Mafia, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I think they said October 23rd. Tormented Souls 2, right? October 23rd, was it? I'm waiting for the answer. Likely I'll try Marvel Tokon. I don't see why I wouldn't. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stick to it and play it long term, but I'd probably give it a shot. I'm sure everyone's going to want to see me try it. Yes, it is the 23rd. Okay, cool. Do I like death metal? No, I actually do not like death metal. I don't listen to it. No, I did not watch the stuff about Black Ops 7. I was watching some of the Black Ops 7 stuff when I was having breakfast. And it just was so silly. They were talking so much about the campaign. I'm like, do they realize almost no one plays the campaign? Seriously? Do they realize that? No, I have not seen the newest South Park or King of the Hill. I'd be interested in seeing the King of the Hill revival. I liked that show back in the day, so I might like it today. No, I would not do a Lego set race with other streamers. I'm not interested. What was the happiest day of my life, excluding my wedding day? I don't know. Does the casino's recent flop of a stream bring any happiness to you? I don't know anything about that. I don't watch Kino Casino. I don't care about them. I really don't give two shits. I don't care if they succeed or flop. I don't. They have no impact on me whatsoever. Would I ever go back to DS politics? There's always a maybe. Right now, I have zero interest in that whatsoever, but you never say never. We'll see. Truth is, you guys didn't like it. I did it for a little over a month, and after 6 episodes, people were bored as shit, weren't talking about it, weren't supporting it, weren't attending it, so I said, screw it. Do something else. When will I play The Witcher 3 again? I have no idea. I have no current plans to play Witcher 3 again. Will I play the new Lego Batman game? I don't know. I'd like to see more about it. It seems like a game that would be fun to play. I don't know if the playthrough would be great, because unlike like an Arkham City or Arkham Asylum game, you know, it's going to be more kid-friendly. It's going to be more button mashy. It's going to be a lot of collectathon. It's going to be a lot of just building. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not gritty, dark with a lot of challenge. So I don't know how entertaining that would be for the audience. I wouldn't be opposed to playing it, but I would definitely want buy-in from the viewers that they want to see it, rather than me playing it for myself and everyone hates it. Personally, I like Lego games, but people don't really like the playthroughs that much. Remember, the last one I did was the Lego Star Wars trilogy, and people really didn't like it that much at all. They complained about it, that it was boring. So I don't know. No, I never watched My Little Pony. That was not something that you would watch as a little boy in the 1980s. Would I consider mods that add difficulty to games if it was a mod that significantly changed a game and if it was tougher, but you guys thought it was interesting? I would consider it, yes. I did watch Sesame Street growing up. Yes, I did. Would I play Medieval 2 Remaster if they make it? I don't know. I don't think I ever played Medieval 2 at all, so that'll be up to you guys. No, I haven't done any long-form reacts this year simply because there's no demand for it. If you haven't noticed, no one is asking me to do long-form react stuff at all. More people are saying, hey, will you play this game? Will you play this game? Will you play this game? Notably, I'm getting asked that right now. People are more interested in seeing me play games than do reacting, so that's why I'm more focused on games right now. Did I like Power Rangers growing up? No, Power Rangers was like a weird oddity for me. The Power Rangers began on TV when I was already getting a little older as a teen, and I was wondering if it was supposed to be for little kids or whatever, because it just was so silly. These people flopping around in these suits. Obviously, it was campy quality. It wasn't like high quality stuff. And I was into more, getting into more adult content and stuff. And I didn't really get it. Later on, I did get it. Like, I was like, okay, I get it. I understand it now. I know why people like it, but it wasn't really for me. It came like a little late for me. I knew of Samurai Pizza Cats, but I never watched it. I've never heard of Galaxy High or Visionaries. Samurai Pizza Cats got syndicated in the US and started playing early morning, so I would see it on TV before school. No, I'm not considering a long form react to the recent R2 documentary. I wasn't even aware there was another R2 documentary. Been there, done that. I never need to talk about that guy ever again. He's a waste of everyone's time. Yes, I've watched Cobra Kai and I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good show. I may review international beers for DSP Tries It if that's something you guys would be interested in. But if that is a true thing that you guys want, we need to build a list of beers for me to get so I can get them to try them. The problem is people keep saying that, but then we never actually sit down and do a thing where we plan that out. I can't just go buy anything. I need to know what would be interesting to taste test. I may check out the He-Man Beat 'em Up game. I saw it and it looks pretty decent. Yes, I played Dying Light 1 and 2. Dying Light 1 was a buggy mess at launch. I did finish it, but it was unfortunate because the bugs held it back. Dying Light 2 was just a boring mess of a game at launch, including bugs and bad game design, and I never finished it. I played like 12 hours and I quit. Stay Mossy, we've already talked about Justin Wong's video about 17 times in the last 2 days. I'm not bringing that up again. I'm likely playing the Chronos game, Gareth. It looks good to me. It looks like Dead Space, and that's a good thing. Well, I too hope that the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is good, X Shooter. Sidious, no, not really. He says, is there a Star Wars game I ever skipped, but I wanted to play during its release? I don't know. I have no idea. I've never used a bidet before. No, I have not. Never. No, I can't do a 24/7 Jasper cat cam. As I've already explained many, many times, Jasper is not a cat that stands still. He likes to move around constantly. He doesn't even have a set space where he likes to sleep. So I couldn't, even if I had a camera in here for him, I'd have to constantly be moving it around, following. Like the only way you could do that is have a cameraman following him through the house. It's not that easy. Other people can do a cat cam because their cats like to stay in certain areas. They're more chill cats. He's not like that. So that would not be possible. Yes, be happy that you skipped Dying Light 2. I'm telling you, there was nothing to write home about. It was not a very good game. We have a K-Cups brewer for coffee, and that's how I do my coffee. I've never even had a true cappuccino drinking, Michael, so I don't know if I would like it or not. I never have even tasted one, so I wonder if I would like it. I mean, I like coffee, so maybe it's a strong shot of coffee, right? Maybe I would like it. I don't know. It's some German and Belgian beers. German are Paulaner and Spaten. Belgian beer is Hoegaarden. How about Japanese beer like Asahi? If you want my thoughts on Silent Hill F, check out yesterday's podcast. I reacted to the trailer, and I had a lot to say about it. And yes, I know they're working on a Silent Hill 1 remake. That's great. That's the game that needs it the most because there's literally no way to play Silent Hill 1 right now unless you own PS1 and the disc, or you had a PS3 that can still emulate the games digitally. That's it. There's no modern way to play it. We need a modern way to play it. So that would be amazing if they redid it. Cydia says, is your memory good enough to remember the first 10 games you ever played and you could do a nostalgia marathon? Yeah, first video game I ever played in general. Well, the first video game I ever seen was, I think it was called Battle Tanks. And that was a PC game that my uncle was playing when I was over his house. And I also saw him play like a flight sim game. It was like a biplane floating around shooting other planes. It was like wireframe. Didn't play, but I saw him play those. I was like, oh, what's that? And that's the first video games I ever saw. First video game I ever played at home was Pong, because my uncle gave me a Pong console to bring home and hook up to my TV. Okay. Then he gave me an Atari 7800. So the first games I had on there were Dig Dug, Moon Patrol, Jungle Hunt. Those are the first three I remember, like off the top of my head. I also had Asteroid. Oh, I had Centipede. All those classic Atari games I had, basically. Okay. So those are like my very first video games. Then I started going to arcades, and the first arcade game that I ever played was actually, I think I want to say the first one I ever played was either Ninja Gaiden, the original, which is very different from the home version, or Wonder Boy. One of those two games, because my local corner store had those games. And then later on, they had this game, I think it was called Pigskin Football, but it was actually like a bunch of like Vikings beating each other up for a football or something like that, if I remember correctly. So I played a few of those back in the day. Those were like the first arcade games I ever played. Then I went to real arcades and I played Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. That was the first major arcade game I played at length because I kept going back to keep playing it. Then, well, after I had my Atari for a while, I got an NES. And so those games were, obviously everyone played Mario 1, right? But basically I had Mario 1, Mario 2, the basic Mario games, stuff like that. So there you go. That's all of the original games that I played back in the day. There's more than that too. Like I had more on Atari, like Ball Blazer was one I played with my dad on Atari. Rampage I played on Atari all the time back in the day. Like a few years ago, Atari released a collection. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a legacy collection. And I told everyone I wanted to get it because a ton of those games are from my childhood. I thought that would be like a really cool stream, but I never got around to it. I forgot about it. I never bought it. I never got around to doing it. I don't know what Hellraiser Revival is, so I don't know if I'm playing it. Erebus, what is that? Ace Combat. I know that I played a game or two that was like fighter jets. I just don't remember what they were, if it was Ace Combat or not. No, I never had a Commodore 64 or played one. No, I did not. Pac-Man, I saw in arcades. I probably played it in arcades a bit. I think I did have a version for Atari, but it wasn't very good. Like, it just didn't look like the arcade version. No, I don't know what Siberia is, so I never heard of it. If I had to pick a favorite DSP tries of the year, what would it be? I don't know, because I don't remember how many I've done and what each one was. I'd have to look at them all, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm here hanging out with you. What's a food I ate as a kid I thought was delicious, but now I don't like it anymore? I don't know. Let me think about that. I would have to try to remember stuff that I ate as a kid that I don't eat now, and I can't, nothing really comes to mind that like, oh, I was like so in love with it and now I hate it. No, I don't know. I don't think there even is one. Yup, I played the WWF 4-player arcade machine. Yes, I did. WrestleFest. My favorite non-fighting game at the arcade was the Ninja Turtles arcade game. That was the first one I played before I even played Street Fighter 2. Atari 50th Anniversary Celebration is what it was called. Okay. I think I might want to play it someday. It would be pretty neat for nostalgia. Pac-Man World 2 repack comes out September 26th. I don't think anyone's going to care. I played Pac-Man World 1 repack, and it didn't do well at all. The playthrough flopped, so I don't think I'll play the sequel. Have I ever considered growing my own tomatoes or things? A long time ago, around the time I first moved in here, I grew some herbs in my backyard, including mint and, if I remember correctly, basil. And there was 3 I grew. I can't remember what the third one was. I know one was mint and one was basil. They were really nice, but they basically overgrew. They got crazy out of control, and eventually I had to get rid of them. I haven't thought about growing any vegetables or anything because I don't think I have enough surface area of ground in my backyard to do it. My previous owners here, who owned the place before me, put down all these concrete block pieces covering most of our backyard. So I would have to get someone, a professional, to come dig these up and then re-till the soil to make it tenable again to grow stuff in. So right now, I'm not planning on doing that. There may be a time when I do redo my house, and maybe that'll be part of the job that I do, but for now, I'm not doing that. So I want to do the Indiana Jones DLC on the 4th of September. The problem is, okay, we're starting up Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid 3, and The Ballad of Gay Tony all next week. And we're doing Suikoden 2. So I don't know how I could possibly be playing all of those games and then play a DLC for Indiana Jones and then play Chronos on the 5th. It's just not possible. So what we're going to end up doing is having to probably hold off on certain things and play them later, which is fine. Because if you actually take a look at at September as a month, you've got, like I said, the Indiana Jones DLC on the 4th, Chronos on the 5th, the Bubsy collection on the 9th, which we're not playing as a collection, but we're going to play Bubsy 3D for my marathon at the end of the month. And there's nothing again till Silent Hill F on the 25th. So basically, we will have time, but we have to pace ourselves. We can't just play 17 games at once. I'll play a bunch, and then we'll slowly ease in other games when we have time. Caterade did a $10 super chat. Thank you, Caterade, for supporting the stream. Seriously, I appreciate that. There's been 25 minutes of Q&A. We finally got a contribution. How do you feel about Nintendo Switch 1 on track to surpass the DS? Is it deserved or a fluke? The thing is with the Nintendo Switch, it came off of a giant flop, right? The Wii U was a humongous flop that everyone did not like. And so to see a console be so successful after isn't that surprising, especially when Nintendo released a whole bunch of great first-party titles for it. So, yeah. No, I'm not shocked. The Wii did not deserve it. The Wii was an underpowered joke of a console that oversold because of motion control gimmickry. It was stupid. The Switch was a solid console. It was still underpowered, but it was pretty good for what it was. Would I ever replay Sly 2 and 3 again? Yes. Gareth is telling me you can play them now on PS5 because I owned them previously on PS3. That's cool. I would replay them again. Yeah, what I want to know is what's with the Mortal Kombat collection, because I agree that could be a really fun one, but we don't have a date for it yet. If it comes out before the end of September, that's great. I will play MK Mythology Sub-Zero during the Worst Games Ever marathon at the end of September. That would be fun. That's enough. So Bubsy 3D from the Bubsy collection, MK Mythology Sub-Zero from the MK collection, Big Rigs Over the Road Racing, Bad Rats 1 or 2 or whichever one. That's 4 games right there. That would be great for the marathon. So Cyber Elk, no, there's a Windows update, but I've been told that it doesn't affect my SSD. I'm fine. That my models of SSD are not affected. Someone already looked into it for me and checked and said, no, your models aren't in that, the ones that are affected. Will I put the Minecraft torch in my background next month? I might. I have a Minecraft torch similar to this, to the sword. It doesn't look good when I turn it on. It is a lamp, but just like the sword, it doesn't look good when I turn it on. I may just have it back there as a decoration. We'll see. I have a few other things that I can rotate around as well. I'm debating what to do for next month. I don't know yet. I haven't really thought about it yet. No, so far, I can check right now. We'll do a quick check. I'm being asked about chargebacks and the like. From what I'm seeing, currently no chargebacks. I won't know fully until tomorrow to see what comes through as payment. But as of now, I don't see any chargebacks, so we should be good next week for Ballad of Gay Tony and GTA 4 once we beat the main story. I committed to that, so we will do it. As long as that doesn't happen. X Shooter, yes, I did like Marvel Spider-Man 2. Yes, I'm aware that there's gameplay of Resident Evil Requiem on YouTube. People told me about it, and it was on X this morning, and I saw a clip of it. What happened to Mafia? We beat it, Mark. We're done with it. We completed the game, so I'm just hanging out now for the rest of my stream. Oh, I only went to the emergency room twice in my life. Once was when I passed out in high school and lost my eyesight. I actually went temporarily blind, and they just tested me, and they said all they thought it was dehydration. They couldn't figure anything else out. And then the other time was when I got into a car accident in high school. And that was it. Just those 2 times. I haven't been to an emergency room for myself anyway, since then. Thankfully. Yeah, the ant problem seems to be solved. It seems like those ants were coming up from behind our oven. Once I cleaned out back there and put down ant traps, we have not seen an ant in many, many months. So I think we're good. No more ants in our house, thank goodness, because that was really annoying. How many car accidents have I been through in my life? Well, there was the one in high school. There was the time when someone rear-ended me. There was the time when my car slid off the freeway when I was coming back from a Street Fighter tournament. And there was the time when my friend crashed his car and I was in it. So probably 4. I've been in 4 car accidents. Cyber Elk did a €2 super chat and said, did you ever play the original Mafia game? Yes, I did. I played the remastered version, not the original. And I did enjoy it. No, I never really played Mario Party. Never was interested in it. Here we go. Gareth just did a £5 super chat, which is $6.72 in USD. What Resident Evil games do you think should get remakes? I want to see 1 redone as a real remake because it hasn't been. 1 has a remake on GameCube, which is kind of a super early remake. It came out only a few years after the original. I want to see Resident Evil 1 get the same treatment as 2 and 3 did. And then we need Code Veronica. 100% we need Code Veronica. That would be great to have a remake of that one. Caterade, $5 super chat. Thank you, Caterade. Would you like to see a Spyro 4? Any chance of returning to Hollow Knight? I would like a new Spyro game. I don't know if it would be called Spyro 4. I would like Spyro to come back in some capacity. And like I already said, I'm playing Silk Song. I never went back to Hollow Knight 1. I started it, and no one ever wanted me to continue it, so I never bothered. But I'm going to try Silk Song later this year. No, I'm not getting the Xbox ROG Ally. Why would I? What the hell would I do with that thing? When will my hair go gray? It's going to go gray in the next 10 years for sure. I have grays. It's just that the camera doesn't pick them up very well. Hold on. I have grays all right here. And in here, actually particularly like right here, there's a whole bunch of gray hairs. But the camera doesn't pick them up for some reason. Obviously, you can see all the grays in my beard, right? But it's on my head, I definitely have them. In person, you can see them. It looks like silver on the side of my head and some up here. But for some bizarre reason, the camera never picks it up. It's very odd. I don't know why not, but it doesn't. So probably within the next 10 years, I'll probably go gray, I would think. No, my friends and family don't tune into the stream simply because my family, all right? When you say my family, I don't really have much of a family left. Most of my relatives were older than me and passed away. My parents aren't into internet shit. Like, they don't watch stuff on the internet or anything. They've literally never watched any of my content. I'm not kidding. 17 years, they don't watch me, which is weird. You would think they would want to watch videos and, see how I'm doing. Nope. They're not. They're very much offline people. They're not like online people like us. It's a different generation, So no, not to my knowledge. No, see, that's it. I don't have contact with any of my other family. Like, I have cousins, like second cousins and stuff who I grew up with. Yes, I haven't talked to them in decades. There was at one point, there was this giant disconnect within my family where all of my family members started bickering with each other, and I didn't want to be a part of it. So I was like, I'm just going to do my own thing. And that was it. Like, I have no clue where they are, and I don't care. To be frank with you, I have my own life going on, enough going on. I don't need to be worrying about other people. I have no idea what caused the family feud. Like I said, I was so not involved with it. I had my own stuff going on with my life. You know, I was going through college. I was traveling to play Street Fighter. I had my own group of friends, my own shit going on. And while all that was happening, my whole family fell out. Like they all started hating each other. We stopped visiting each other for holidays. We stopped having conversations with each other. I was never involved. Like it was always like during Christmas, we would go to either my godparents' house or my great aunt's house or both. For birthdays, we would go over there. They would come to ours. We used to drive around like Christmas. We would drive around and visit all the family in the area. And then all of a sudden, one year it stopped. We're not doing that anymore. Why? What happened? I was so busy. I had a full-time job. I was going to college and I was traveling to play Street Fighter. I had a full life. So I didn't know what the hell happened. And quite frankly, I was so busy. I didn't really watch. I just didn't want to be involved in the drama. So I just didn't pay attention to it. Maybe that's to my detriment because, you know, like I said, you always take things for granted. When I had family who I was in contact with all the time and we had, you know, family get-togethers and stuff, I kind of took it for granted. Now I don't have that anymore. Now you're like, damn, kind of sucks. It might have been nice to have family members to visit and to do stuff with, but, you know, that's what happens. They say hindsight's 2020. Now, of course, I know, man, it would have been maybe good to keep contact with certain people or whatever, but that's life. Now I'm too busy for it regardless. Too old and too busy. I don't know if I'll play the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag remake. I have no idea. I don't know when it's out. Every time you guys ask me a question about will you play a game, here's the factors involved. So you can answer the question for yourself. Number one, do you think people would want to see me play that game or play it again? Is the answer yes or no? Is that the kind of game Phil playing would be entertaining? Number two, do you think that's the kind of game that Phil would actually enjoy playing as well? Is it his style or is it something that maybe he doesn't like? That's another factor to consider. Number three, do you think it's the kind of game that people would actually come and watch Phil play? Because I'm not just here to play games for myself. I'm here to play games for an audience. So do you think you would like to see it, I would like to play it, and people would watch it? If you can answer all three, yes, then the answer is yes. I will play it. Because those are the factors. Sometimes there's a game I want to play and you guys just don't want to watch it. Sometimes there's a game that you want to see me play and I hate that game and I'm not going to play it. And then sometimes there's a game that both sides want, but then for some reason it doesn't work as a stream. There's a lot of factors involved, right? Someone took the buck and said a bunch of gibberish that I don't even understand. Thanks for the buck. Really, like I was trying to read it, and it was something about my parents, but then it was something about super chats instead of having ties with my family. Yes, definitely that's what's happened is I've decided to not have ties with my family so I could get more super chats. What on earth are you discussing? I have no idea, but thanks for a buck. Weird stuff. No, I could never do a text-to-speech stream because people would use ways around it to say horrible racist things and get me in trouble. I would never do that. I'm not a dunce. Cyber Elk has gifted a membership. Thank you, Cyber Elk. No pop-up yet because YouTube didn't hand it out, but thank you for that. So now we're up to 116 of support. Sammy just became a member. Thank you, Sammy. That's a new membership. I appreciate that. Cool. Now we're up to 119 of support. Stop asking me dumb questions like who I will vote for. Stop that nonsense right now. None of your business. I have no idea. Bigger Dude says, if I had been born a girl, what would my parents have named me? How the hell would I know? Am I my parents? How would I know that? How would I even know if they had picked out a name if I were a girl? I don't know. What a weird question. Yeah, hopefully it wasn't Phyllis. That's not a very good name. Phyllis? Ugh. That's not a good name. I don't like that name, Phyllis. Do you think we'll ever see a trailer for the Wolverine game? I mean, yeah, we'll see it as long as they don't cancel it. They're not just going to shadow drop the game with no info. They're definitely going to have a trailer eventually. Save us GTA. No one cares. Seriously. I said this before. I'll say it again. Anything that Wings brings up in about me is all fluff and bullshit because he'll talk shit. Then he'll say something nice. None of it matters. If you try to talk to the guy, he doesn't respond. So I don't give a shit what he fucking does. He could sit there as a lump for the rest of his life for all I care. If he doesn't take action on anything, it doesn't matter what words come out of his mouth. Like literally, I don't know why anyone would ever watch him because all he has is bluster. He never takes action on anything. So, oh, Phil sucks. I'll beat him in a boxing match. I'll beat him in Call of Duty. Oh, Phil's the best guy ever. I'd like to be on his show. He'll never do any of that. He'll just sit there like a lump. So I don't care. Yeah, I don't know. Usagi Jojo says, man, I can't wait to see what you get from McDonald Land. Yeah, I know. To be honest, like I told you guys, I would have much rather done Taco Bell this week, but you guys voted for the McDonald Land adult Happy Meals. I'm not very confident that these are going to be good. I think that it's going to be some garbage, some overpriced crap, but that's what you guys wanted. You get what you want. You know, that's what you voted for. I don't know anything about any new Myth Kong game. There is, it's a new Black Myth game, but it's nothing. All they showed was a cutscene. There's nothing to know about it. What do you mean Call of Duty 7's new direction in gameplay? What new direction? It's no new direction. They're just going back to their old directions. They're going back to the freaking advanced warfare shit again. There's no new direction. They're basically going in a circle like this because they have absolutely no originality at all. So they just keep pumping out the same games over and over in a circle. And I guess people are too dumb to figure that out. No, I would never do a marathon of games that I skipped because I skipped them for a reason because they suck. I'm not going to go back and play Black Myth Wukong again. The game's terrible. It's boring as dirt. I'm not going to go waste time playing it. Another 20 hours of boredom. Fuck that game. Ah, my eyes are starting to burn. No, I've never had really long hair. I don't like long hair. It bothers me. I always preferred shorter hair. This is one of the longest hairstyles I've ever had in my life, actually. No lie. All right. Well, guys, I got to go. All right. Thanks for chilling. Sadly, we didn't hit the goal. It is what it is. I guess we're not doing DSP Tries It this week unless there's a miracle tonight for Donkey Kong or tomorrow for Sweet Code N2. But thanks. It was still a great stream. We finished Mafia. That's great. I got to review it. That's great. And this is decent support. So I appreciate it. I will see you. Well, hold on a second. Let me stop this recording this video, first of all.